Grace and peace, family. It is so good to be back here with you. I truly have missed you. I've missed being able to come and have conversation with you. As you may know, my accounts were locked because of somebody's, decision to do some crazy things. But you know how Raggedy Dusties are. And we won't dwell on that. We are just glad that we can, well, at least I'm just glad that, I can get back here and have this conversation with you and continue to have conversations with you. But first things first, how are you doing? It's my sincere hope that you are taking the moments that you need. Sometimes you do need some quiet time, some downtime as you continue to journey beyond narcissistic abuse. Do not ignore yourself in this process. You matter. Your emotions, your feelings, all of that matters. And that's kind of what I want to talk to you about today. That you are not defined by narcissistic abuse. You are not defined by a narcissist. You are not defined by anything or anyone outside of God and outside of yourself. One of the most difficult things about this type of abuse, this insidious abuse, if you will, is just the nature in which they speak to you, the verbal assault, the way they attack your mind. And it's strategic to indoctrinate you, to alter the way that you see yourself, as well as shift your perception on reality, as well as other people's reality or other people's perception of you. It's almost like narcs want to flip the script and you have to walk out their reality while in their own twisted minds, they are walking out yours. And as crazy as that may sound, it's almost as if that is how they think. They project their emotions. They go around with these smear campaigns. They do all this triangulation. Like, you already know the drama that surrounds being with a narcissist. But I want to encourage you. I want to encourage somebody today to shift your focus. It's, one thing that I remember from my journey in the very beginning was just consuming so much information about what is narcissism, what is a narcissist, what does the abuse look like, what can I expect? And that was great. But for a while, I was just so absorbed in that. And I forgot to actually nurture my own needs, my own soul needs. Like, who is Joy in all of this? Like, how are you doing, girl? Check in with yourself. And this is what I want this moment to be. I want you to know that it doesn't, and not to diminish the experience, but you are not defined by these people. And you're not defined by anyone else outside of that. I don't want you to let the disappointment of finding out that it was nothing more than future faking, that there's no return on the investment of your time, finances, resources. There's just no return on any investment that you make with a narcissist. I don't want you to be disappointed in the reality that it was an illusion. There is nobody home in that person. They are an empty shell. But as disappointing as it is, you have power even in this moment. And the pain can be so blinding. It can be crippling. And it's real. It's very painful. But the thing is that at any point, you can make the decision to shift your perspective. And today we're going to shift our perspective, at least for however long this recording is going to be. We're going to shift our perspective off the narcissist and bring the focus back in on us. That's why I put a mirror up there so you can see you. A part of the journey requires that you are willing to be vulnerable with who you are. And this is where we get real with ourselves and we do that difficult part of self-love. We ask ourselves questions, and listen, this is not to say that I want you to assume responsibility for what happened. No, nobody signs up to be in these relationships. Narcissists are predatory by nature. And anybody, absolutely anybody, can be duped by a narcissist. Anybody can. So don't feel like there is something wrong with you, or that, you lack some insight or anything. No, you don't. But as much as possible, take some time out for you. Take some time out to nurture your soul needs. Don't allow anything or anyone from the outside to derail who you are. Oftentimes, before these relationships started, we had plans, we had goals, we had dreams, we had vision for our life. For our lives, should I say, and it gets derailed. Other times, there are those who were raised by narcs that never had the opportunity to develop these things. It's a good time to do that now, even in the midst of your healing, because this at least creates an environment for you where the focus is not on the narcissist, and you're able to begin the process of developing or cultivating a life outside of the narcissist, or that does not include them. But it's important, and what I want you to do is to show up for yourself, even when you don't feel like it. Like, listen, there were days when I did not. I had no energy, no desire, no willpower to show up for myself. But I had to. I didn't have much of a choice. I had to show up to take care of these kids. And I had to show up for me so that they would have a mom. It's bad enough that, they're abandoned by a father, but now do I also check out on them? They deserve better. And not only do they deserve better, but like the future woman, the future version, the future Joy deserves me showing up. That's what I'm saying to you. The future version of yourself deserves you to show up and begin to honor who you are becoming. And it's small things. Sometimes, because of just where you are in the journey, it's just doing the little things, opening the curtains, going outside, spending time with a friend, not saying their name, and growing from from that into something a little more and a little deeper. But I want you to know that whatever you're feeling, we go through the stages of grief here, and it doesn't matter what you're feeling. You're allowed to feel your emotions. They are real, and you are a human being who has just had like a traumatic experience. But the thing that I want you to remember is, do not fall for the pitfall, or don't fall into the pitfall of believing that you are defined by these emotions or these feelings. These feelings, anger, bitterness, resentment, pain, whatever they are, whatever you're feeling, they're not an impeachment of your character. It's not a summons of your character. It's just a human reaction, a human response. Afford yourself the opportunity to process those emotions. Don't bottle them in. This is where your therapy, your counseling, journaling, coaching is so helpful. But one thing that I want you to do, especially if you are still in a situation with a narcissist, or, you're contemplating on leaving, or you feel like now that you're not with the narcissist anymore, that you can't move on. Here's what I want you to know, please. Do not allow fear to lead you. Don't allow the fear of being alone to keep you in a bad situation or keep you stuck in a particular mindset. Don't allow the abusive words of the narcissist to make you think that that is who you are. Look in the mirror and start defining you for you. Don't allow the fear of starting over, because these narcs come and tell us things like, listen, who would want you with kids? Who wouldn't want me? I'm a blessing. And here's the thing also, is like, you're not for everybody, you're just for somebody. So it doesn't matter. We're not trying to rekindle, we're not trying to recover these relationships. We're trying to have something better, but at the appropriate time. But shift your perspective and change your focus and decide that the future version of you deserves some respect. And that respect really starts with us giving it to ourselves. You can recover from anything. You can recover from narcissistic abuse. God goes before you, He is with you, and He is behind you. You are covered on all sides. And the truth is, your life matters. The purpose that God deposited in you matters. And that's why it's important that you know that you cannot give in to the definitions of you by a narcissist, because number one, they're not even qualified to define who you are. They're not qualified to speak into your life, because let's be honest, it is the light that drives out darkness. Darkness cannot comprehend the light. So anytime they have tried to define you, it was a lie. It was a lie. I just want you to be able to know that there is life after this, that there is joy, that there is healing. It's a process though, and it may not be one of the easiest things that you'll go through, but it is so well worth it. You know, use whatever resources that you have to get your healing. But don't forget, please, at all costs, do not forget to nurture your soul. You deserve the very best that you have to offer, because you are your longest investment. Nobody else will live in your body like you will. So it doesn't matter what people say. Be comfortable in your own skin. Own your truth. You did not do anything wrong. You are not the abuser, and they can say whatever they want. They are not you. They don't define you, and this is not their story. It is yours. You are defined by the word of God, and allow his words to speak to you. But as it speaks to you, tell yourself continually until it truly resonates with you. I hope this is encouraging to somebody. I hope it uplifts and inspires you as you continue on your journey beyond narcissistic abuse. I look forward to chatting with you soon. Until the next time, be good to yourself, and God bless.